What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review a 2004 mixtape by Young Buck of G Unit. Basically, this particular product is called Welcome to the Hood, and it came out in the spring of 2004. Now, within pitched about it here, this is a primer to like Young Buck's particular debut album, which dropped in the later on. Just dropped later on in the summer of 2004, straight out of Cashville, as far as these pitches can happen. Now, within particular pitches, looking up some information about this product is not within the complex of being available for download pitch like that, unfortunately enough, but you can. It is a retail mixtape and product nowadays with these pitches, so it is. You can't. There is the availability of the pickup pitch like that. Now, within the fair, Rate Your Music, strangely enough, lists this particular product, Welcome to the Hood, as like a bootleg and kind of unauthorized type product, which I think is incorrect within these fairs, as far as saying mainly due to the fact that it's hosted and brought to you by DJ Woo Kid, who was G Unit's official DJ pitch like that. So within the fairs, they were dropping mixtapes back in like the mid 2000s and further back pitch like that, 50 cents since at least back in like the early 2000s. 2002 fairs like that. So it's a pitch for us. I think this is probably one of the initial type ones that Young Buck particularly kind of did. It's probably one of the initial type ones that Young Buck particularly kind of did pitches like that, considering that this came out before his debut album. So it's the pitch as far as saying, basically those particular folks, Young Buck was kind of on the scene in the 2003 side of things, at least in the second half of 2003 when the G Unit album Beg for Mercy came out, pitched like that. But it's kind of fair as he hopped to it towards it pretty quickly, pitched like that. Same thing with Lloyd Banks. But as far as like the affiliation that Young Buck had, and when I said that Young Buck was a G Unit rapper, he was, at least up until like the late 2000s when about like Terminate on Sight came out, pitched like that. But fair as far as saying some of his hit type appeals. This is some of the initial type rollout of Young Buck's kind of solo career with at least 50 Cent, DJ Woo Kid, the G Unit type folding Aftermath, and Shady and G Unit labels. So it's a pitch those aspects. See after effects as far as saying now within these fairs, most of this particular product, there's 14 songs on this mixtape within these appeals, but for the most part these pitches kind of deal with the product that there's about 6 songs out of the 14 on here that are not other type freestyles pitched like that within Songs That Fridays. Now even surprisingly enough, 50 Cent hops on a few of these songs pitches like that. Like one of which particular 50 Cent hops on like Tipsy by Jay Quan pitches like that. So it's the Friday as far as saying some interesting type pitches. 50 Cent doing like a flip with some of those type Fridays considering the complex. He was 50 Cent within those particular stages was large enough within these pitches within the aspect. 2 hit albums, 2 classic albums out of 2003 pitch like that. Get Rich or Die Trying was a classic debut, went almost diamond pitch like that. And then you had Beg for Mercy, which is a banging kind of street album with 5 singles pitched like that. So it's ordeal as far as saying him going in and doing remix type songs, those type pitches. It was kind of the aspect with some good type fries getting towards some of those type ones. Lloyd Banks is on here a few times. He rips apart like Lean Back by Fat Joe. It's a good, nice pitch. He definitely needed to rap to a particular song like that with him pitch like that. There is a posthumous Tupac verse on here. Now, it's not actually one that he did with Young Buck, but it's the fair as far as saying just some secret type fairs of like a hit song like particular Change My Ways has some of that good type appeals pitch like that. So some good, nice ones. Little Flip and G Units on the Game Over type one pitch like that. I want to say the game is on there as well with his particular short-lived kind of G Unit type days. It's a pitch like that. So it's the hit type rise. So the G Unit crew's more on like the mixtape type songs, but there is like a small series of Young Buck kind of exclusives on here pitch like that. So just Tibble banging type ordeals pitch like that. So within those fairs, based upon the boisterousness of like the 6 original songs out of the 14 on here and the original type factor and just the quality of it, like Tibble kind of Young Buck within his usual type flares of his projects. This mixtape's going to get a 10 out of 10, but within these pitches as far as saying it, you're going to have to spend some clams to get this particular product as far as these pitch counts. So within that aspect as far as saying a classic type appeal. So the most popular song off this product according to Spotify, which it is on Spotify as well, pitch like that excellent type products, is Black Talons. As far as these fairs going to have Black Talons is like an excellent kind of city paranoia and half serious kind of sniggering to get towards pitch like that. So this definitely has some smoke in your system fairs like that. It's appreciating like the times, but kind of the relative type aspect, but just not quite it's kind of pitch as far as saying some of the products. So kind of the aspect of having like the mode of getting towards the grit and the grease type factor, but not within a life-threatening type serious type conduct within these pitches as far as the foremost kind of emphasis. With the aspects as far as saying getting some jokes in there, phone means some type pitches, especially nowadays, but back in those particular days, it's kind of aspects as far as some of those type fairs is picking up DVDs, pitch like that. Parkside kind of tokes to get towards serious type pitches, just have like some zingers, snack on a few of those, pitch like that, sentence hit type fries. It's kind of aspects as far as those particular type varieties. It's kind of within the pitch as far as saying particular songs like Black Talons, Young Buck didn't have as many full bound within those commonplaces on the Straight Outta Cashville album, so this is actually within those pitches of a little bit hungrier type aspect within the tone of just Taco Bell type runs, hitting up like a local parkside type pitches with the legality of it, just night type shifts, getting towards some product like Fritos and just good amount of crunk pitch like that, some grape sweets, hella blueberry sweet sunset pitches amongst the good nice fairs, but just kind of products as far as those pitches can have them just good nice particularly kind of township weaving sunset pitches, but half serious within these pitches, kind of product of just paying attention, like the fairs amongst the kind of the variety, just not getting into difficulty with just the pitch as far as some of these fairs, just kind of enjoying like the joke type variety amongst it, also just good bounty of fairs that, and within a funny type sense in your phone pitch like that, hit type appeals. Cloud9's a hitting type 1, this is a 50 Cent and Olivia type exclusive, good nice pitches, getting another Olivia type 2 pitch like that within her particular type phrase and not being around too terribly long. She almost dropped an album, I remember like a buzz single being on VH1 and MTV since the pitches, but some good nice banginess. Cloud9's a hit type appeal. Now Cloud9 was not the song that had Olivia from the VH1 days, but it's kind of some pitches here as far as saying Cloud9's a nice one. Cloud9's like a particular stellar kind of vintage DJ Woo Kid kind of mixtape fifth and Steam a Blunt type song, get 2 pitches like that. Definitely like vintage 50 Cent out of like the particular Guess Who's Back and 50 Cent is the Future type days, so it's the pitches amongst the accent type ordeals, just early 2000s type 50 Cent pitch like that, hit type appeals. Also kind of reminds of like an early bird kind of days from like the Massacre pitch like that, like a Baltimore Love thing, and some type ones pitch like that, accent type ordeals. This kind of incense with gals, since the pitches get some of those type ones lit, some good nice smells pitch like that, hit type varieties. Spa later for gals, as far as these pitch, gonna have them get her set up with like a spas and pitch like that, go smoke a bowl in the whip or just nearby outside pitches like that, so it's hit type varieties. This kind of aspect, we just get into its practice. Good romantic kind of homebound type steam pitches like that for figuring out next modes and pitch like that, just being having some courtship pitches like that, good accent ordeals. Real Niggas is a hitting type 1. Now within these pitches, Lil Flip's on here a couple of times, but within the variety, he did some collaboration songs with Young Buck. Particularly, I reviewed at the beginning of 2026, which by this stage it's going to be like a little later in March of 2026. But the fair as far as saying within these aspects, as far as getting towards like basically first couple days of January 2026, I reviewed like a Lil Flip 2004 type album that he did with Big Shasta, which had some songs, a couple of which, maybe 1 or 2 or something like that, had Young Buck on there. So it's dope that Young Buck returns the favor with Lil Flip on Sundays type 1s, but Real Niggas hitting type 1, slingy kind of night venue kind of type away type song, so kind of chip on your shoulder type air, just a little bit bruised pitch like that sounds type 1s. When you think of like an Eminem type song that would be kind of in a club type fit, like Soldier and Way I Am, some of those type pitches like that, just razzle it AF, I definitely say here, just hella hypnotic tabs, getting the crunkness back in your system, not to blow the night over, pitch like that, and ruin the particular night fashion of it, pitch like that. Pick up some donuts for a dame on top of that, pitch like that, kind of make sure that the foul type sense doesn't splash over onto her as far as the pitch can have some aspects, as far as some of those type varieties, just BC type is figuring out the modes of it. Relaxing night venue type marinate pitch like that, some club bounce definitely within those aspects, just kind of in a mob deep type sense, a good pitch like that, accent type ordeals. Love the Hood's a real nice one as well. It's like a groovy kind of gold eyes, kind of super slosh, kind of backstreet sweep and get towards here pitch like that, just kind of some early bird type cruise. Good nice commerce cruise around. It's just a little bit empty within these pitches, accent type ordeals, not empty in terms of quality, but just kind of just vacant travels, it feels like, pitch like that, just snack run type tune pitch like that amongst like some commerce, more less on foot, more kind of within the fray. Probably could throw some on foots on there on top of that, but just kind of the aspect like drifting along pitch like that, just some come throughs kind of get towards with folks pitch like that. So this kind of early bird type fits of whether or not just picking up like McDonald's breakfast, getting those McMuffins, or just fairs like that. Since that pitches the aspects of this like particular fair, just feeling like early bird for a change. Some of those type pitches with an aspect just experiencing. Appreciating like some dawns and sunrises within those pitches. It's the early bird kind of breakfast hours, or just pitch like that, not as if it full bound has to be breakfast hours, but just kind of pitch of. This feels more of like mellow type hours pitch like that, so either just kind of like a pink skies kind of morning or a purple skies kind of evening pitch like that. Sometimes that fares amongst this kind of the groove of like the more lambent and just kind of rescinded type hours pitch like that. So the accent type rise is getting towards it, just kind of being it's like not so much a full bound hustle type song, but just steady enough within these pitches, just kind of get the rest of the products roped up within the products of it, just appreciating like the times of it. Change My Ways, a nice one with these pitches, has a real nice Tupac verse on here, pitches like that. It's like a vicious kind of cavalier kind of finery to get towards here, pitches like that. Feels like something that Biggie would have done for like the life after death days, like What's Beef, some of the pitches like that. It's kind of an errand run to get with polish as far as these pairs can go. Just have like some buttery With an aspect like some good type products in mind, like a buttery ass pasta pitch like that, some breadsticks on top of that, just some real good limp kind of breadsticks. Some of these type of acids just makes it. It's kind of aspect of like some moves going on within pitch like this. So it's kind of moto disc. It's kind of a harrowing type one within these aspects as well. It's kind of pitch as far as paying attention towards it, but it just kind of has like that noir type feeling within some of those pitches amongst like the fray amongst it. Kind of similar to No Way Out by Puff Daddy, in particular, like Life After Death by Biggie. Sons of pitch amongst it, but it's kind of the fair disc. 50 Cent was pretty good at these type ones as well. Pitch like that, just kind of off of vibes and more like the Beg for Mercy type album, like Salute You and pitches like that. Some of those type ones from that particular album, good pitches like that. Some white dinner plate kind of restaurant type fare, and then getting towards like the hustle grease of it. So the pitches are kind of sitting on drops, figuring out some product with gab of folks, talking with folks in the whips, and these type pitches amongst the fray, just figuring out next modes, pitch like that, mixtape gossip, pitch like that, get towards some smoke their product, figure out the modes of it. Good, nice pitches. I think one of the last ones I haven't talked about out of these 6 on here, pitches like that, would be This Way. As far as these first going to go, Be This Way is like a good stock, kind of burrowed and greasy kind of city flip mode to get towards pitches like that. Grab like some Chinese and zigzag sense of aspects. Some of these type aspects amongst it, just kind of another nice one for like the products with some next drops and pitch like that. So kind of fair, just figuring out the aspect. It kind of feels like an early bird to 2010s type hustle type shifts, pitches like that, but also within the variety of some of that soul on there for like the Blueprint and the DJ Drama Don Cannon type days pitch like that. So some of those type fares is kind of a good bustle type tune within pitch, but just the aspect to like particular just city grease pitch like that. Some of that fares just amongst the aspects, some of the listen to, just with like the gulag type fashion. It's a good, pretty nice, good type fair flip moding out of the particular SFW type sense pitch like that. Some surprise of getting more, figuring out some good cool off type fares pitches like that, like Chinese and some of those type varieties, and just aspects of getting towards the aspect of like some next draws pitch like that. So kind of car sitting, a little bit of like that parking lot type fare, have like crab ragu nearby since the pitch is just the particular product of this, what's the next products of it as far as what's basically happening. So excellent type pitches within this product here. These bona fide type tracks by Young Buck, 50 Cent, and G-Unit, as far as these basically having a pretty blistering pitch like that. So some of these extra type varieties, as far as like the fair kind of has with these 8 other songs within these pitches that are the other type tunes. Some of these type ones like Tipsy by Jay Quan, Thief's Theme by Nas, Jesus Walks by Kanye, particular Tupac type song, the particular Checkout Time's a good nice one. Jay-Z, one of those type ones from the Black Album. I forget the full band type one. It's one of the last songs off that particular album. It's more of like a homely type one pitch, like the accent type varieties. Lean Back by Fat Joe, Game Over by Lil Flip, Got 5 on It by Lunis, and if wants a pitch like that, some of these hit type feels. They go in on these particular ones, just fun type flips, aspects like that, just tibble type banginess, good accent varieties. Some of these type ones have the hit type appeal. It's also good to get like some secret kind of Lloyd Banks type verses, because he shreds these apart. He was dynamite back in those particular days. He could keep up with Eminem and folks like that since they pitched. So good nice fares. 50 cents on a few of these as well. Within good nice pitches. So Young Buck comes through with these as well. But it's kind of pitch. I feel like the original type Young Buck songs are more interesting than like the fair of him just going in and spinning on some of these type ones. Now he definitely can within these pitches. Good aspects as far as him being a pretty cogent type standard pretty good cogent type freestyle rapper pitch like that with some hit type nest is getting towards these extra treats on here pitch like that. So hit type varieties. So you got 10 scores. Social scores can go ahead and get like a 10 out of 10. Now within these pitches, I would believe within these complexes that this is not actually a bootleg within these pitches. DJ Woo Kid probably did officially do this. Now it does have like some beats that are to be found elsewhere. More than half the product is towards that direction. But these new songs, just like a typical kind of this DJ drama kind of gangster girls tape and some of these type ones within pitches like that. So it's kind of fair. It's not. There's kind of variety amongst it pitch like that. So some of these hit type ones within the social type aspect of it, just these varieties of just like city kind of weavings, this pawn shop type fair things type aspects, this gulag type fashions, just from the pitch of this like getting through like the more or less hustlers makeshift and blue collar type traffic pitches like that. Since there probably a couple club type tunes on here, some beelines, some dawn shift type ones, excellent type pitches, getting towards some of these sunrise type ones in the pitch, just getting like the shit done within like the 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. type settings pitch like that if they're open. Have like some pasta and breadsticks, some type fares in like a noir type sense. Club type bruisedness, good pitch like that. Just coming through for Dame and gals. Coming through for Dame and gal pitch like that. Get some hypnotic in your system. Some type varieties. Just got homebound Spotify type fits on top of that. Some type pitches in like a 2000s type sense. Have set a diva up with like a spa for later pitch like that. Some hit type peels. The nice products get some smokers going definitely within these pitches, and then just kind of like some city kind of walk alongs pitch like that, and like Taco Bell runs and just kind of parkside type smokes pitch like that. So good accent varieties pitch like that. Nothing banging extra kind of Young Buck type tunes are on his straight out of Cashville era, so excellent pitch like that, just banging ballistic tightness, some of these type errors. In terms of the future, like Young Buck has more or less been in the aspect, Young Buck has more or less been seemingly type quiet pitches like that. He has put out songs and music videos pitches like that, but it's kind of as far as saying. But then the aspect, the mixtape type era with like the destruction of Dat Piff and Internet Archives not as complex within these pitches. So I want to say he might have dropped like some collab albums or something like that with these pitches, but it's kind of as far as saying. Obviously with the label snafus that he's had for about 20 years now with these pitches since 2007 with Buck the World pitch like that and Terminate on Sight from 2008. It's kind of fair as far as saying it's just less likely there's going to be like another Young Buck kind of standard album, but still pitch for us instant. There's some good nice phrase on top of that. Some good nice phrase within the ballisticness. He went to prison recently, but he has a pretty prolific type work setup, pitch like this, and some banging typeness. I'd check out some of the phrases. Pay attention to his YouTube fairs like that, since I pitched with an excellent ballisticness. Except with the hit type feel, was the aspects for saying getting towards some of these devices. Very classic kind of mixtape staple. Important product is some prime era straight out of Cashville type days from Young Buck, and it's not to say as if I don't pay attention to Young Buck's YouTube as well. Pitch like that, it's just excellent type price, but pitches it just didn't seem as likely that he's put out 2025, 2024 albums, pitches like that 2026 ones. So this pitch for us saying there's probably some shit on the way, so needs to pitch, but aspects for us saying this is a classic here.